Hey everyone, it's Bob again. Being on the road all the time causes some issues on getting things done at home, and they kind of build up on you. So I've been working on my pickup, trying to get it back up to running in good shape. We're going to go over a couple of the things that we had to do to it. It's still not done, but it is running again. It's Saturday, and I'm home catching up on projects. So first project I got is my pickup went down. My boy was driving it and it just all of a sudden quit on him. So we got to figure that one out. Little background. It's a 97 Chevy 3/4 ton pickup with a 5.7 Vortec. I started a few months back by having to fix the fuel line so I could change the fuel filter, and while I was at it I pulled the bed off and replaced the fuel pump. We did get the pump changed. Everything seemed to be running pretty good. I tuned it all up. Everything was up to snuff again. My boy was driving it for about a week or two. All of a sudden it quit. And what I got out of him was that he went over a cattle guard, wasn't going fast. After he hit the cattle guard, it just quit. And he coasted into a parking lot. They towed it home. And I was out on the road, so I couldn't really do anything. And when you have teenage sons and you have a whole lot of tools in the garage, the next problem is they want to get things fixed. Over the phone, I told them a few things to check so that I'd get a head start when I got home. That turned out to be part of the problem. You've got to be able to verify the problem and where you're at clearly. And there was a communication problem between me and my sons. And so I assumed what they were telling me was accurate. That was my first problem. They said it had fuel pressure and it had spark. And they could start it using ether. Not having the reference material that I used to have when I was in the shop, with that information, I tried guessing a little bit as to which direction to go. And even after consulting YouTube University, don't always believe them. It was kind of directed towards suspecting the ignition module, but they're pretty pricey. I didn't really want to spend $100 on one. So I kind of had a feeling I should step back and reassess. You know, just to verify that I did have fuel pressure. I had already verified that I had spark. And when I saw that I only had 20 psi, I immediately knew what the problem was. Their idea of pressure was if it had gas at all, that it was good. And with a Vortec, you've got to have between 55 and 60 psi in the fuel rail or it's not going to run. And I had 20. So that put me in the right direction. So then I went back to the fuel pump. Okay, when you don't have enough people to lift it all the way up, this is the best we can do. So I'm suspecting the fuel pressure is the problem. So we're going to pull out the assembly and we will see what we find. Okay, we pulled this out. We found the problem. Okay, as you can see, the pump is no longer straight, and the inlet is no longer completely seated on the hose. So that was allowing room for the fuel to get out, which meant it wasn't building enough pressure to run. So now we'll fix that and put it all back together, and my guess is it's going to run. Okay, so we fixed that hose, we got it all back in, and now we're going to test it to make sure that was the problem, which I'm pretty sure it was. And it starts right up. The thing we learned here is you make sure that if you're assuming something, you're going to probably make a mistake. My sons had already checked and said that it did have fuel, but when I put the gauge on it, it was only showing 20 psi, and that's not enough for a Chevy to run. So it did not run, and that took us in the wrong direction. It put us looking at ignition module or computer. You know, there's so many things that we could have gone to from there in trying to track down this problem. So that's why you want to make sure your fuel pressure is up. Well, as you can see, we got it running again, and it's been doing pretty good. I always am nervous about giving any kind of warranty to my boys because they have a tendency to really push the limits of vehicles. I know that's surprising, teenage boys, but anyway, we got her together, it's running again, and now we can get on to some of my other projects. The next one is I got to get my tractor back up and running because I need it running to get going on my big project coming up. As I told everybody earlier this year, one of the 3 big things I was going to be doing was building a shop out. My schedule kind of got messed up with the river run earlier this year and just a few other things. So hopefully we'll be able to get started on that here pretty quick, and we're gonna probably have a lot of fun doing that. So anyway, stay tuned for fun building a shop, because it's going to be a little unorthodox on how we do it. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll catch you on the next one.